everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk about Black History Month. The month that is a celebration of my people, because I am a black man and everything. And it's about all our accomplishments, all the oppression that we have gone through over like centuries of living in like America and stuff like that. And even till this day, we are still being oppressed. And so I'm here today to talk to you about certain characters or TV shows or episodes that revolve around Black History Month that I personally enjoy. So I'm here today to talk to you about X-Men, the animated series, season 2, I believe, whatever it takes. So this is a Storm focused episode, which is very rare because Storm doesn't get that many focused episodes. And if they are interesting, but they mostly have to do with somebody trying to steal her powers or falling in love with her or something. But in this episode, Storm makes the ultimate sacrifice for love of a family member who's not even her own blood. Now, Storm was the original black superhero for the X-Men, the first for the X-Men. There aren't that many black superheroes in the X-Men, even still till this day. But she is known as being like the first when it comes to that of the X-Men. And so in this episode, the professor has gone on a mission with Magneto to Antarctica. So nobody knows where he's at because he didn't tell nobody. And so like Storm is home, and in Africa, we see a young boy running around. This boy is Missionary, and he has super speed. He is a mutant. And at some point in time, he's playing with his friends soccer, and then all of a sudden he sees this strange glowing thing in a mountain, and this shadowy figure comes out and possesses him. This is the Shadow King, who is a villain of Charles Xavier and Storm. So the thing about the Shadow King, just to give you a quick thing, he found Storm when she was younger in Africa, back when she was like homeless and stealing and stuff. And so he put her to work for him. And then at some point in time, I know it kind of differs between like animation series and stuff, but in this one, Professor found her when she was younger, and he saved her from the Shadow King, and then he vanquished the Shadow King to the astral plane. And it was really tough for the professor to do that, even though he is one of the most powerful mutants out there. It took a lot to like put him there. The Shadow King used to be like, human and stuff. I think he's also probably like a mutant. It depends, because, the other animated series changed up his origin a little bit, but, this is the gist of it. So anyway, it possesses Missionary. So Storm, being in America, in New York, she gets a call from a person in Africa talking about Missionary is in danger. So her and Rogue, they fly all the way from New York, America to Africa. How? They didn't even have a jet, a plane, not even the X-jet, nothing. They just flew all the way there. They would have been tired. But this is the 90s, so whatever. So they get there, and Storm explains to Rogue that Missionary is her son, but he is not her biological son. See, what happened was this. When he was born, I think he was kind of like, when he was birthed out, he was kind of like stillborn, or he had some kind of complication, something like that, from the woman who is actually his mother, the woman who knows Storm. So this lady gave birth to him, and so Storm gave him CPR, and he lived after that. And so like Storm is kind of like his surrogate type mother, you know what I'm saying? And so when he became a teenager, like most other people, he developed his mutant powers. And then she explained to him a while back, he got possessed by something. So Storm goes to investigate her and Rogue, and they discover it is the Shadow King. His whole thing of possession Missionary was that he wanted to lure Storm there so he can possess her and have her powers. Storm is an Omega level mutant. She is extremely powerful because she can control the weather. And so like at some point, she makes a deal with him. Leave Missionary alone and you can have her. Rogue thinks this is stupid, which it is. But, she doesn't care. All she wants to do is save this young teenage boy who she cares for more than life it is. That's a huge sacrifice right there. And so he possesses her and he is thrilled. He can now control the weather and he leaves like the whole village alone for the most part, but he goes like in another part. So when Missionary comes to, he doesn't want Storm to be possessed, and of course Rogue doesn't either. So they're gonna like stop him. But Rogue tells him to stay back and she'll handle it. Now you gotta remember about Rogue. She is extremely strong because she absorbed the powers of Miss Marvel, who is now known as Captain Marvel. And so she can fly, she has super strength, she's invulnerable, and also she can possess people's powers and their life force. So she goes to try to stop him, but she is no match for Storm and her powers. And Storm, even though she is inside of, her consciousness is still inside of her body, she is able to break free and tell Rogue to stay back. And then inside, we see the internal struggle between her and the Shadow King. Her talking about how she's not gonna allow him to harm anybody. And the only way to do that is to kill them both. So she flies all the way up into the sky and into outer space where there is no air. As she suffocates, he leaves her body because he needs a host. If he doesn't have a host, then he has to go back to the astral plane. So she passes out, she falls down. And so Rogue saves her and stuff. And Missionary is telling them that he knows where the Shadow King is. I think he repossesses Storm, I'm not 100% sure. And so he tells Rogue that he knows where the Shadow King came from. It's that opening in the mountain. Nobody else can see it, but he can see it for some bizarre reason. And so at some point they lure the Shadow King back into the astral plane. He Missionary, he makes the ultimate sacrifice too. He runs into the astral plane and stuff. And as Shadow King is following him, we see just the bizarreness of what the astral plane is and why this dude wants to escape. It's this other realm of weirdness and stuff. So Missionary is just running around all fast up in there, and he's able to leave it in time before the Shadow King is able to get out. Now Rogue and Storm, they're on the other side of the mountain scratching at it, trying to get into it, because Storm is she's in utter dismay, you know what I'm saying? She's just scratching at it with her fingernails and stuff. And so Rogue's about to start pounding it, but then they see his arm stick out of a mountain. And so they pull him out, and the Shadow King is no longer able to come out. I don't know how the rift able to close, because I think he said it was big in the beginning and now it's really small, so it's shrinking. And so this episode is really cool in my opinion, because it's two people, and two black people, were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice of ending their lives just to destroy the force of evil. You know what I'm saying? And that's really huge. That's why I love superheroes and stuff. They put their lives on the line, and no matter what. And it's even cooler to see a person of color doing it, because as we all know, in comic books, there isn't that back in the day, there wasn't that much diversity, because you gotta remember the first black superhero only came out in 1966, and Storm came out around the 70s, 80s or something like that. And so, and of course, towards the end of this episode, we see the professor and we see Magneto in Antarctica. They realize that, hey, they don't have their powers and stuff. Now, there's also a B plot in this, has to do with Wolverine. He's in search of Morph. Morph is back from the living. He aligned himself with Sinister. He tried to kill the X-Men, and Wolverine's been tracking him down. Morph said he doesn't want Logan's help, and he will figure this out by his own. After he hurts Wolverine, which is weird because this dude is tiny, but he's able to morph into shapeshift into other bigger stuff. And so Wolverine tells him, when you're ready, I'll be here to help you, because he wants to help him like Professor helped Wolverine and stuff. Happy Black History Month, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.